Hey mama, I'm Ashley and this is the Maverick Mompreneur podcast where you're free and encouraged to own your desire to create and scale an impactful, discoverable online brand and business in the midst of motherhood. A business that's aligned with your mission, lifestyle desires, personality, and zone of genius without wasting your time on the hustle and grind hamster wheel that is social media. Can I get an amen? Sis, you are a maverick, an original, willing to stand out in your authenticity, defy expectations, and do life and business outside the box. In our world, if it's not aligned with who we are, it's a hard pass or a brave pivot. So if you're here for the powerful identity shift and transformation from boss babe or boss mom to aligned CEO, building a one-of-a-kind, influential, hustle-free online business that will produce long-term impact and multiple streams of income through SEO, affiliate marketing, and courses while building yourself in the process, well, pop in those AirPods, grab that cup of coffee or glass of wine, and let's get growing. Hello. Ashley here, back with another episode of the Maverick Mompreneur podcast. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining me. I want to set the stage of where I am currently recording from in case things sound a little bit different. So a couple big life developments have happened in the past week. Number one, and most excitingly, we got a puppy, and the puppy's name is Charlie. He's 8 weeks old. He's a golden doodle. I would say he's a small golden doodle. He'll end up being about 35-ish pounds. So he's not a mini, he's a small golden doodle. He is laying right across from me where I can keep an eye on him, cuddling with another pair of my shoes. That seems to be his comfort zone. My shoes, go figure. He's not chewing on them though, so I can't complain. The other development that has happened in the past week, in fact, I got both of these things on the same day. I got a puppy and a really badly injured back. I have had chronic back pain since I originally bulged a couple of discs in my lower spine. If you know, you know, it's like the ongoing injury from HE double hockey sticks. And I re-injure it every so often. And this has been since 2004. So a couple decades of chronic pain, but pretty well managed. I haven't had any major issues in about a decade. But in my excitement of running around and getting my house ready to bring a puppy home last Friday, I neglected to realize out in my garage gym that I had a barbell that was loaded up with a lot more weight than I typically leave on the bar. And I usually only ever have maybe 10-pound plates on either side of the barbell, maybe 15, but something that I could reasonably pick up pretty quickly without warming up. Well, that was not the case, and I forgot. And so I just did not properly brace myself and just tried to rip it off the ground and ripped something in my back. So that's been really great timing with potty training and all of that. So all that to say, I am standing up in my kitchen recording because I cannot sit down. But anyway, just a little fun life update. I hope that you are not experiencing back pain, and I hope that everything is going very well for you. I hope you're excited going into the end of the year. I know I'm getting butterflies just thinking about having my family out here for Thanksgiving with Taylor and the new puppy, and just having family out here. My family all lives in South Carolina, and so it'll just be so nice to have a Thanksgiving not only with Taylor, because last year she was with her dad, but also with them. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm also so excited about Black Friday and the promotions that I have coming up. If you're on my email list, you may have seen the reveal of one of my Black Friday promotions, where I'm offering a discounted rate on one-on-one intensives for 2025. And there's 3 different options for intensives depending on your goals, but rather than them being the typical 60 to 90 minutes, these 3 options are all 2.5 hours. So you get 2.5 hours of my time to work on one of 3 different topics, one of them being the Brand You Intensive. So this is for someone who really wants to dive into clarifying your personal brand and creating a custom plan that covers every facet of your brand identity. So what makes you distinct, your unique selling proposition, how that's going to show up in in your messaging, your visuals, your content strategy, and all of that. So that's one of the options. The other is a funnel blueprint power session where we work together to map out your entire sales funnel, easily guiding your leads from your low ticket offers to your mid and high ticket products or services. This is for someone who is wanting to have an actionable plan to execute on. So that's another option. And then there's the expand your income intensive. And this is all about creating or refining and or launching a profitable offer. So either a digital course, a membership, a coaching offer, and really coming up with a plan to expand your income through creating your own offers. So whether we go over refining or creating your offer suite, there's all kinds of ways that you can use this 2.5 hours, but those are what I am offering to my waitlist first. So if you're interested in an intensive or you want to check out more, I will leave a link in the show notes. But essentially, you will get first priority to these limited spots for 2025. And they're going to be the 2.5 hours at the pricing they are in 2025. If there are any intensive spots left, then they will be at a higher price point and they will be back to either 60 or 90 minutes, depending on the intensive. So if you're interested, get on the wait list. That way you can be notified first. And if you choose to snag one, you will have that option. Okay, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. In this episode, I'm going to give you an important reframe for a question that I know I've asked myself before, and I think if we're honest, we've probably all asked ourselves, probably more times than we can count, which is, how do I make more sales? We're all in this to make an impact, but we also need to make an income. So there's nothing wrong with that question. How do I make more sales? How do I make more money? But what if we started from an entirely different place? And I'm telling you, this is the shift. What if instead of asking, how do I create more sales? How do I create more income in my business? We ask something that's way more meaningful, aligned, and honestly more effective. And that's, what's the most natural way for my ideal client to find my brand, engage with my content, and invest in the solution I provide? When we understand that flow and we're thinking of it from the perspective of what's the most organic, natural way that would happen, the entire process of creating more sales becomes a lot simpler, and you get your work out into the world to be more impactful. So I'm going to share the 3-step framework that I use to turn that question into a sustainable, scalable sales engine that aligns with me and you, your audience, and your vision. So grab your coffee, grab your notebook, or whatever gets you into the zone, and let's break it all down. Okay, so let's get into my 3-step framework for designing a profitable customer journey that works for warm and cold audiences. So this is really key for when you want to run paid ads. So paid ads to cold traffic, but also when you want to create a passive income journey for your warm audience as well, without having to do sales calls, without having to DM people and all of those things that I personally don't want to do. I want it to be a natural journey where someone can lead themselves through my sales funnel and make a buying decision rather than me selling them and going through a series of questions and all of those things. I just don't personally want to do that. So if that's more your vibe too, then let's talk about it. So the first step in answering that question, that reframe from how do I create more sales to what's the most natural way for my ideal client to find, engage with, and invest in my brand, because that's obviously going to lead to sales, right? Is to think about the organic interactions that have led to sales in your business in the past. So what types of posts or conversations have occurred when someone goes from interested to investing in your business? Is it them being drawn to your personal stories? Is it practical tips you're sharing? Is it vulnerable moments? So look back through and identify, when you have sales in your business, where have those come from? And that's going to be different for every brand, for every niche, and every industry. But you want to make a list of what's been effective, even down to the actual content content that led to those sales. Maybe it was a masterclass, maybe it was a Facebook post, maybe it was an Instagram reel, but what were those touch points? What type of content was it that built that trust, built that engagement, and set that stage for someone to go ahead and make an investment in your business with you? That's going to be really the foundation that shows what's working with your audience, and that's going to shape every step of your funnel. And I remember when I first started making the shift to creating that passive income marketing that we talked about in the last episode, it's very different, and it's surprisingly different than what I was doing in speaking with an audience who had known me for years through me being an influencer, through me being a blogger and sharing a lot of my life. And so there's a lot of trust built up, and the people I was selling to were in my warm market. So that trust factor was completely taken care of. So I didn't need to factor in a lot of the things that I do now in my marketing now that I am growing my audience. And that brings a lot of cold people into my audience. And it's my job to warm them up with my marketing and within my sales funnels. And this, again, I harp on this all the time, but this is how it's possible for someone to see a Facebook ad or see a reel and request something through commenting a keyword and getting a DM through ManyChat, or clicking on that learn more on my ad and purchasing a $17 or a $22 front end product, and then ending up in my membership with a $480 order 10 minutes later. There's a reason that happens, and it really does start with thinking about what has worked in my organic marketing and even in the past when someone's made a purchase that didn't know me very well, right? So I think about when I've had some of the things that I thought about were when I had past webinars or workshops and someone came into my world and purchased a large coaching package or purchased a course or whatever it was that they purchased, but I was fairly new to them, and analyzing what was it in that messaging? What was the desire that they had? What was the challenge that they had? And how did I speak to that? And how can I incorporate that into my marketing? And so really analyzing what's already worked for you. And then the second part of this is taking those touch points that worked organically in the past and turning them into a scalable funnel. So for me, I create my funnels within Kajabi, and I do recommend Kajabi because it just makes everything really easy. Some of my best performing ads, I've just literally repurposed high performing carousels or reels or graphics that have proven to convert with new and existing followers on Instagram or in my Facebook group. So an example of this is I recently created a massive 16-page low ticket funnel structure guide, which is amazing. It's free. There's a link to it in my show notes, and I will keep that there because I want you to have that if you don't already. But when I promoted that, I created a reel, and it ended up with, I think, 50 something comments with those who saw that reel wanting that particular freebie. So what I did was take that and poured gasoline on the fire and turned it into an ad. So it's the same funnel on the back end, but I just started with something that was proven to work with followers and non-followers alike. And even though, could I have explained that entire process in a masterclass going into a whole bunch of details? Sure. But what's working right now is a simple reel that's speaking to a particular desire of my target audience. So the hook is, I crack the code to fully automated sales of my digital products and offers. And then I show some visuals for what that looks like. And then I have a call to action to comment, show me, so that I can send someone the entire typed out instructions. Now that has 63 comments, and I run a very low cost. I think I'm at $4 a day. And let me check how many leads I have. Okay, so I'm in my ads manager account over on Facebook, and I run it to a $297 product that's in a 40-day email sequence since I launched this on October 24th. So again, just that literal same exact reel, nothing different. I have 106 Facebook leads, and I'm getting those leads for $1.03 per lead. And that's at $5 per day. And so I've spent $108, but I've also made sales of the $297 product. I'd have to check and see how many, but that is a very profitable funnel. And it also started with thinking about what has worked in the past, what messaging, what type of content has resonated, and what has led to sales, and just putting gas on the fire through creating an ad. But I do want to talk more about taking your best content and what is going to be on the back of that to create a funnel that effectively sells your low ticket offers, but then also naturally leads someone into your mid ticket offers or higher ticket offers. What's working now for me is what I want to always share with you. And that changes over time, right? With the marketplace and what's, working and what's not. And so right now, a low ticket offer funnel is working right now to build that trust with someone. And it doesn't just have to be from that front end product. So for example, if someone buys my low ticket toolkit method, there's opportunities, even if they don't go through my funnel within 10 minutes and end up as a member, there's opportunities for them to do so as they're going through that product and as they're realizing, hey, I want more. I want to go deeper with this. I want support. I want the next step. All of that's embedded within that product strategically. You get basically 3 shots is how I look at it. You get a shot within your funnel. So with the front end product, the order bump, your first upsell, your second upsell, if you want to have that, your downsell, your back end offer in email, but you also have opportunities within your front end product by cross-selling. And then you also have, of course, email nurture sequences. So you have 3 different opportunities to create more impact and more income through creating a sales funnel that really mirrors the ideal journey that you want for your customer. So it all starts with really, what do they need? What can you structure that's a logical sequence? So from your front end product, and trust me, I've not always been good at this, as evidenced by my first couple of sales funnels. I made front end product sales very easily, but I didn't have a journey set up. And so the lifetime value of a new customer was just that first initial product. And maybe it was a $97 product or a $47 product, but then I didn't have a logical journey for them to go through either within that funnel or on the back end of that funnel. And that's made all the difference, because you're not only with using that approach, maximizing your revenue per customer acquired, but you're also guiding each of those customers along a journey that's going to feel logical to them, aligned with your brand, and really showcase how you can help and how you can support at different levels and at different places where someone enters that client journey. The third step of this is to create traffic to attract your ideal clients consistently. So you can do that organically, or you can do that paid, or you can do a combination of both. But the key to this is you need to have new eyeballs on your front end product sales page that's going to unlock the rest of your funnel. To me, starting with a low cost ad and scaling that as you tweak it to become more and more effective and optimized and profitable, while you are also marketing towards your funnels with your organic social media, makes the most sense. But everybody has different situations, budgets, all of those things. If you think of ads not just as an expense, but as an investment that's going to pay for itself by bringing in your ideal audience and guiding them through your automated sales funnel, your customer journey, and filling your funnel and filling your email list with highly qualified leads, customers, people who are willing to make an investment in order to get a result that they want. And that's who you want on your email list. There's lots of freebie seekers that will end up on your list and never purchase a thing, not read your emails, and that's fine. We don't, dislike them for that. But what you want are action takers who are willing to invest with you in order to get that transformation to their health, their wealth, their relationships, whatever you are solving for within your niche. And the way that I teach funnel building and the self-liquidating offer and tripwire funnels in particular, the goal is to have your ads pay for themselves and then create profit. And so that's what you'll find the low ticket funnel structure PDF guide really helpful for. It will flesh all of this out. It's really hard for me to just verbally tell you all of this. So download that free guide, because that is going to be what shows you how this all works. So what you want to do is create a customer journey that mirrors interactions and content that's converted organically and that's performed well organically, and building more more content and or ads off of that organic interaction. And not just the ad itself, but what were those conversations? If you've been doing sales calls, what were those elements? What were those questions someone had? What were those decisions they needed to work through? And include those in your marketing, include those in your sales funnel so that you're guiding someone through all of those thought process. Now, some people are going to be quick decision makers. They're the type of buyer when they see that you can provide a solution, they're like, boom, 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 give me all the things. But other people will need more information. So that's why in your sales pages, you include things like frequently asked questions. You include things like secure payment option graphics, things that will speak to lots of different buyers and lots of different buying styles. And I can see this actually in real time. I play this little game to see, okay, how long will this buyer take to go through my funnel and purchase? So sometimes I'll see someone come in on a $22 product or a $17 product or whatever the price point, and within literally 6 minutes, they've purchased every single thing within the funnel. Other people, you can see that they'll purchase, say, the front end product in the order bump, and then about 10 minutes later, so they've carefully considered, they've read through the sales page, maybe they're checking out my social media content. 10 minutes later, they make the next purchase, and then maybe the upsell. But sometimes they wait even longer. And so the whole process might take 30 minutes. So you can see there are different types of buyers and they need different information to make that decision, but you can include that in your sales funnels to take the whole sales call, DM conversations completely out of it. So I highly encourage you, if that sounds like a business model that you want to structure for yourself, snag that low ticket funnel structure guide that I created. Literally, it's what I wish that someone would have just handed to me, especially for free. I would have paid a lot of money for that. Actually, I have paid a lot of money to learn how to do that, but it's what I wish someone would have just handed to me so that I could skip all of the freaking guesswork and testing out what works and price points and all of that. So I hope that that blesses you. I hope that that helps you to really set up a profitable, sustainable, passive income funnel for your offers, because it's done that for me and I'm so excited to see what you create. So until next week, as always, cheers to your impact, but don't forget about the income. You deserve that too. You're a business. Okay, I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a ton of value. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you would rate, subscribe, and review this podcast. It really helps push out the message that I have to share with other female entrepreneurs. Thank you so much.